All right, I'm back streaming on this Azure Functions project, creating Twitch stream notifications whenever our PowerShell Live channels come online, sending out tweets and Discord and Slack messages uh, to notify people that the streams are live. Um, so where I left off yesterday was that I had uh, got pretty decent uh, into getting the ARM templates ready to deploy the underlying infrastructure. So my goal is that I should be able to have both the infrastructure and the code for the project being defined in the project itself, and all you need to do is supply secrets so that the application will work, right? In theory, that's where I'd like to go. So full on infrastructure is code, and code is code, and CI/CD pipelines for both of it. Single CI/CD pipeline for the infrastructure and the code deployments, so that everything's idempotent, everything updates properly, and we're good. So kind of like the first step on that is to get a working ARM template for deploying a function application that has the same shape as the one that I currently have in place. Um, Ultimately, what will have to happen is I'll have to discontinue the existing application and switch over to a new one with the same name um, when I make that switch, because it's not looking like it's going to be possible to actually keep the existing application in place and just apply an ARM template that works with it. So anyways, where I left off was that my app settings were not being applied uh, when I deploy the ARM template. So everything's getting deployed. Uh, the function gets deployed, the storage gets deployed, but the settings for the function app are not um, being deployed, which is kind of weird. But we'll figure it out. Um, I have done some research very briefly. Like, I spent 2 minutes. I really want to stream all the progress on this because I think people seeing me struggle on this might make them realize that ARM templates are not as simple as I tend to hear a lot of people say they are. Anyways, let's get into this here. One of the things that I wanted to do real quick was I just set this up so I can actually test that my app settings are or not being deployed. So just added some PowerShell code here to grab the web app and grab the settings and display the names. Obviously, I don't want that's funny, Thomas. The I have a meeting later this week to discuss uh, Terraform and its possible future or lack thereof in our environments at work. But yeah, so um, this is just so I can get this, and the where I left off is that this deploys and says that it's successful, but obviously the settings are definitely not there. So I'm just going to let that run. And while I do that, I'm going to go in here and kind of what I think I figured out why it's not working. So first of all, I I learned something about the copy function for iteration of properties. Apparently, this needs to go at the top, so the copy needs to be at the top here, and uh, it it's the name of it is actually the property that it's going to become. So I've got this like all kinds of wrong. So it's no surprise that this is not working, but yeah, just to show, this is the only setting that gets applied right now. So what what I'm going to do is I'm going to restructure this and hopefully fix this problem. So Is app settings at the end? Yes, it is at the end, so I can um, deal with this here. We need to move copy up here. So I'm going to take this entire copy operation, move it up hurrah, and the name needs to be app settings because it's going to overtake this right here. Now, you can have multiple in here, it says, and I'm pretty sure that they can be the same name, but we'll, I don't know. Maybe I'm not able to do this multiple copy loop for the same setting. So I might have to go back to my original design of doing all of the settings as one, and that's going to be painful. So basically, I need to mix app settings being deployed from references and the app setting being set statically and the app settings being set in a key vault. So I need to come up with some clever way to do this, but I'm going to reference the documentation real quick on this because it was saying that you can do for property iteration that you can do multiple in there, but yeah, it looks like they have to be different names, which is sad. So it's probably not going to be possible to use the copy loop the way that I wanted to there. So what I may need to do is I may need to make use of a function and allow the function to perform some logic for me while it's deploying. And basically looking at the list of property names and properties available to determine some logic about what the value for that is so that I can mix and match these together. So that means that I need to redo my architecture for the parameters on this. Ugh. So what I had done is I had separated out settings static and settings secret, and then I also had some of those deployed or settings that have references or reference values, and some of those are actually static too because they're more Azure function related than mine. So what I'm just going to have to go back to doing is putting these all together and then having some things that will help determine what it is that needs to be deployed. And it's going to be one painful kind of function. And I haven't actually used ARM functions before, so that'll be a interesting thing to stumble through on the process here. So I'm going to do app settings, take this in, and I think that the way that I want to structure this is name, secret name, value. And if there is a value, we'll return the value. If there's a secret name, we'll construct the secret and reference it in there. And then it just means that all of my settings have to be out here now, including the ones that are somewhat static to Azure functions. But c'est la vie. So I'm going to start off by copying in this array of objects because it's a good baseline, and it's not going to change for these ones. These are the static values that they're not going to be based on any secrets. They're not going to be constructed. Uh, so they should look like that. So for secrets, we're going to copy this array out of objects, paste that in, and replace app setting name with name. So now we have two conditions. If it has a value, we'll use the value. If it has a secret name, we'll construct the secret identifier and get the value out of that. And then we'll have a third set, and these are constructed. And an example of these constructed ones would be the ones that I have here. I'm gonna have to figure out how to do this because I don't think that there is an eval operation that you can do in ARM. That would be kind of helpful if there is, but I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that there isn't one. And just look this up real quick and eval. Because if I can pass in things that will be evaluated during processing, that would be great, but yeah, that doesn't look like there's an eval operation of any kind. So yeah, I'm gonna have to have some logic in the function that I do that it's gonna be such an ugly function. So the ones that really matter are, let me get back into VS Code here. The so I do have a couple more static ones that I can just not worry about. Let's get these here. So before I go too wild on this, some more static ones there. So the next ones will be constructed, and I'm going to copy these out. And you know, I'm going to try with these and see what happens. What could possibly go wrong? I don't think that it'll automatically evaluate them, and it'll just try to process that as the string and set it as the thing. Just doing a quick yeah, that's painful. All right, looking up Azure function, Azure ARM functions. That's not the one. Template reference. Here we go. All right, so just bringing up the function reference so I can see what I can do with this and see if a function's even going to work for me, because I'm going to need to pass in the current indexed object in the array and do some figuring outs. Yeah. Functions can't access variables. Function can't access template parameters. Function can't call other user-defined functions. Function can't use the reference function. Oh, that kills that idea. I can't even do that in there then. Man, how am I supposed to? I think that the only way that I can really do this is to define my settings directly in the ARM template, and there's no way for me to pass those in. I mean, I guess that's okay. It's just not the way that I'd like to do it. I'd rather be able to pass them in and construct them. Maybe there's some way to join arrays of some kind. Just want to make sure that variables aren't restricted to not being able to use reference in them. It doesn't look like they are. Not being able to use reference inside of a function is kind of painful. But that's all right. We'll figure out something. So perhaps there is some kind of operation where I can join two arrays. Converts a value to an array. Coalesce, concat. Coalesce. Concat. Combines multiple arrays or returns the concatenated array or combines multiple strings. So you can concat arrays, which is perfectly what we need to do. So that means that I can do this operation in the variables section. It's just going to be painful, and I need to I can't do the reference one. This is tricky. I can't like reference the storage because that'll blow up. Like it would mean that I can't do anything in the variable section that relies on something that I'm deploying in the resource section, because then it would yeah, because it would blow up. So I can't. There's no like try catch fail in ARM templates, so there's no way to like try to get something. And I can't define a dependency on in the variable section something I deploy in the resource section, because the first time you would run the ARM template, it's not going to exist. So for example, I can't get the storage key so that it can be used for the things that it needs to be used in um, Azure. So I can't do that in the variables section. But I need some clever way to do that in the copy section. And that means that I could just do all of the logic in the copy section. Uh, oh, it's going to be so ugly. That's going to be so ugly. But I guess that's all I can do. So what I'm thinking is that basically my copy loop is going to have the most complex looking value in it possible. And I need to do some thing to do this. So this will be variable storage name. Oh man, this is going to be so ugly. I'm just going to name this eval storage name eval this one's going to be storage key. Ugh, this is going to be so ugly. I want to put this here. I need to copy this off because I'm going to be so that's how you can get a storage key. This one's a storage key. This one's also a storage key. This one is insights key. And that's that. This is extra. Need to get rid of it. Okay. So I'm gonna have to do some looks on it, and this is gonna be the most ugly freaking statement ever. So app settings, we're still gonna copy in here. Control Z. What's going on here? What did I got rid of too much or something? No? Got rid of the rim out. Okay. Get rid of this. Okay, so on the name, we're good there. This is going to be app settings. And we have to take that in up here. So get rid of one of these and app setting. change that one into app settings, get rid of this one that's no longer there. Come down to where we're working on our app settings here and start working on this depressing, very depressing statement. So variable app settings, copy index, app settings, app setting name. This is going to be just name now. Right, so we need to return a name value pair, and in the array we're using name as the name for the app setting name. But value is going to be some really hellacious stuff. So this is the logic for creating a secret reference. So I'm going to have 4 things here. It's going to be variables, storage name, so I'm going to have this variable storage name that needs to run if I've got storage name as the eval. I've got this one for storage key. So this is the one for getting the storage key. This one for getting the app instrumentation key, and this one for the thing. I'm gonna have to combine that along with just returning the actual value. Oh, this is gonna be so ugly. I'm going to craft this in something that is not the actual ARM template because it's going to be really hard to do that on a single line in there. So I just need a new file and make it plain text. Yeah, why not? Let's restart it. I don't know why it failed. Just changing from PowerShell to plain text should not cause the PowerShell terminal to fail, but it did. All right, so we have to craft an if statement, basically. So I'm going to open this up, and it's going to be if, and this is going to be a really long one. There's going to be a bunch of inner ifs on this. So the first thing I want to do is I want to return the value if the value exists. So the way we need to do that is if variables act setting I need to make sure if that's if greater 0. So if the do length so if the length of the value is greater than 0, then return the value. So I need to update the value. That means that it's got to be set. Then the thing to do if else is going to be another if statement. It's going to get nested really quick. If secret name on this, so length secret name is greater than 0. I should have copied this entire thing. Greater than 0, then we want to return this operation, kind of heavily remodified. Yeah, so this will return the reference for it'll return the secret, actually the secret URI is what I'm constructing here. It's a special kind of value in there that you can use to reference a secret in there. So that's if it's true. If not, we're going to start another if statement. And this will be if eval greater than 0. I think I need to do and. Yeah, so I'm going to have to do an and operation. And the first thing is to check if the eval is greater than 0. And equals eval equals we'll do storage name. So if both of those are true, then return variable storage name. Else we start yet another if statement. This is the most ugly thing ever. I'm not even sure it's gonna work. And I definitely wouldn't be able to do this without, doing some indentation here. So I've done the storage name, so the next one is storage account. So this is a very similar look and feel to it. So I'm gonna if greater than eval and equals, what do we use for its storage key? Just double check my parameters here. Yeah, storage key. So if that's true, we're going to create the storage key reference, which is this bad boy right here, modified. Storage name, storage accounts, API version. All right. And then if that's not true, we're going to open up yet another if statement and look at another and on this. And greater length, app settings eval equals 0, and this one equals, this time I need to do the insight key. Insight key, and then, so if that's true, we're going to create the insight key reference. And then if that's not true, we're going to return nothing. Actually, I'm going to, just for the sake of troubleshooting, like put something more meaningful here, like failed to resolve. So that means that, like, if all of this fails, this is going to be the default string. But you can definitely see how weird and unruly this can be. So we've got if greater, so basically if the app settings value for this one has more than 0 characters in it, then we need to return the value. So I need to go through here and add value equals nothing to all of the ones that don't have a value, just to be absolutely sure. Oh, these already have values on them. I don't know what I'm doing. And this should be eval, not value. So I do need that anyways. Should be eval. This too should be eval. storage key, insight key, value, 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 value. All right, that looks good. So yeah, the first thing it does is if there is more than one character or more than 0 characters in the value, then we're going to return the value. If the secret name has more than 0 characters in it, we're going to create the secret key reference by pulling that out of the environment. And then if both the eval is greater than 0 characters and it equals storage name, we're going to return storage name. We're going to return the value of the storage name. And if that's not true, if the eval's greater than 0 characters and has storage key, then we're going to create the storage key reference. And if that's not true, we're going to look at the eval, and if it's greater than 0 characters and has the value of insight key, we're going to create the reference to the insight key. And if all else fails, we're going to turn failed to resolve. So I'm going to copy this and flatten it down here so I can later come back and this is going to be so gnarly looking. Maybe I could kind of automate creating this, condensing this, but we'll look at how many times I have to do this, and then we'll decide if that's worth the effort of writing some code to do it. Alright. Come on to the home stretch here. Alright, so in theory, this should be what I have to put in the string here for value. Oh god. That is a beast. That is some hilarious things. And if this works, I'm going to question my sanity on choosing something like this. All right, so I've put that in there. Let me go ahead and just run a test deployment on it, the test Azure resource group deployment, and cannot validate argument on parameter resource green. The argument is null. Provide an argument that is not null or empty. Oh, I need to the session restarted. Oh, okay. got just these leftover parameters that I didn't delete out of the parameter file. So I need to make sure that they all have eval on them too. So they have to all have the same kind of settings, I think. I could probably do this smarter by having value and type. I think I'm going to do that because since I have to basically define this on all of them, that makes sense. So let's just do name, value, and type. This will be static. Copy this for the static ones here. I have to redo all of my logic, but no big deal. So it's also static. So this one is type secret. So I'll do it this way. If it's a type of secret, it'll create the secret reference in there. That's smart, I guess. But this needs to be value, and this needs to be type secret. So many secrets. So, all right, this one, I need to change secret name to value. All right. So this one is type static. I need a couple more of these. So change eval to type. All right, so I can basically just do logic that checks the type now and does some stuff instead of checking the stuff. So this should be same. So all of these now require a name, value, and type. I think in my head, I had this kind of idea that it might work like this at some point, and I've just resisted it because it was painful. So Greater than is going to be changed to a equals. Although type, not secret name. Is static. So if it's a static type, return the value. If it is a secret, then instead of getting secret name, it's value. All right, and then if this one is a storage name, so I no longer need this and. So if the type is storage name, return storage name. If this one is a storage key, and if this one is a insight key, and then if all else fails, do failed to resolve. So I'm feeling the burn on this one, and I don't want to do this, so. Is it dash space? Oh, I suck at my regex so much. Replace star. Oh. I need to treat this as multi-line. I think that's the way you do that. And then I need to find and replace all instances of I believe I can just get rid of all white space and new lines. And maybe. I'm not optimistic that's gonna work. Actually, that doesn't look so bad. That looks like it did exactly what I needed it to. Do I even need this piece? I don't even know. My regex is weak. I can just use dash S. I don't think I have anything that actually requires spaces, and you don't need spaces in there. It definitely looks better when you do. Um, out clipboard. No. Yes. Maybe. No. Is it out clip? There's some out function, right, for setting the clip. I don't do a whole lot of. I guess not. Set clipboard. What are you doing? Execute. All right. Get rid of this atrocity and replace it with this one. Maybe. Maybe this works. We'll try it. Why not? Let's just validate the template. Hey, look at that. It's a valid template. Now let's see if it actually deploys properly. That's the real trick. So let's start a deployment here. Invalid resource namespace. The resource namespace subscription. Oh. So maybe I don't need the subscriptions pieces in there. I'll try this. So yeah, it didn't work. Shocker. But it did have an error, so we'll try this. It was saying that the subscriptions was not a valid namespace. And I'm thinking that I can't even supply a subscription here. I think that I just need to do resource groups. We'll try this. See if it works. I'm not entirely certain you can even reference a template resource. Resource groups is not valid. Okay. It says resource name or reference identifier. Is what it says that I need to give it here. Resource name or reference identity. So full value that specifies whether to return the full resource object. Okay. Do I have an example of what this resource identifier was? I was pretty sure like I could give the full resource ID in that you can get out of the thing. So yeah, no examples of doing it that way. And I'm not exactly certain I can even do it this way. but parameters, I'm gonna try getting rid of this. Let's try just going back to this one. Take it one segment at a time and see if I can find the right combination. It says that it's malformed. Try it without the /. Alright, let's try it without the subscription ID. That's not valid. Let's try it without the / on this. Just gonna keep going one at a time until this works, or I'm fairly certain that it doesn't. Try this. I did try this without a /. Yeah, so if that doesn't work, we'll try just providers. See if this works. Yeah, I don't know on this one what it's supposed to be like. Let me try one more thing. Let's try this. Yeah, so I need to figure out how to use a resource identifier for a resource that's in another group. If not, I'm gonna have to, I can't do that because I need to get the version ID. Ugh, so painful. Resource identifier from another resource group. See, arm reference secret from another resource group. Let's double check this one. This is all about how you do. Maybe I need to enable template for deployment, enable for template deployment on the key vault. Maybe that has to be done. Although it's saying it's malformed, which makes me believe that turning that on is not going to help, but we'll try. Where's the settings on this? Properties? No. Access policies? No. Access control? Overview? Something tells me there should be some more options on this, and I'm missing them somewhere. Settings, locks, properties. Firewall networks, access policies, show advanced access. There we go. Enable for template deployment. Just want to see if it shows anything here. This log is always like empty anyways. And I don't think I have any kind of analytics turned on for this, so maybe I do. Nope. Yeah, diagnostics aren't turned on. Okay. So now that I've at least enabled the resource manager for template deployment, now I can look at the thing here and see. And this is about passing in a secure string option, which is not what I want to do. The full thing there, that should work. Dynamic ID. It's parameter vault name. Yeah, okay. So I should be able to use what I was using before. Back here to VS Code. Save that, and then let me look in here where it accesses a key vault reference. Okay. So secrets, let me look at the end of this. It should be right. Maybe it was just because it wasn't enabled. Try it again now that's enabled. Invalid namespace. What does that even mean? right, let me look back at the examples that they had here. Yeah, they have that. Am I missing a thing here? All right, let's get this again. Yeah, that's how they reference it there. Maybe I can't, maybe I need to do something else in here? As, concat secrets to it. Let me look at one of the secrets, and I'll have to do that off screen here. Just look to see if they have an ID. They kind of don't. If they do, they definitely don't show it. I'm going to try something here with this, and instead of doing this, I'm gonna try this. See if that works. I'm not hopeful, but we'll see. Yeah. Oh, that's one thing that's weird. Look at the... No, it's cased. All right, it's fine. I need to get the resource ID of that. Get AV key vault, AZ key vault. Secret. I'm gonna create one just to be safe here. That way I'm not like accidentally displaying a secret here. Vault name is are vault names global unique? Is that all I need to do is like... Oh, definitely needs to have some kind of resource in front of it. Right. I'm your favorite PowerShell friend. Awesome. I'll take it. So, unfortunately, right now I'm not doing a whole lot of PowerShell. I'm doing a lot of ARM templates. Personal branding, man. That's definitely on purpose. I try to use that user icon everywhere. Problem being that since it's not my face, when I went to the PowerShell Summit in 2018, nobody knew who I was. So uh, I did have stickers, but the stickers were entirely too small. I'm gonna try to rectify this year and have like large large pictures of this on my clothing and badge and all kinds of stuff. Uh, so it'll be easier to spot me. Otherwise, it's like look for the long-haired fat dude with a big beard. That's the only other way to describe me. So Control Z. So what's the key vault name? And it's here. Actually, it's here. Name, test. So they don't have like a resource ID. Doesn't look like. Huh. They have their ID as being this craziness here. Is that some kind of like... It's the current version, which I don't even want the current version of. Resource. Hi, Marco. This is problematic. I need to figure out what they use underneath that to do that. Is this a Git AZ key vault? Is this open source? Because that would be helpful if it is. I could maybe figure it out. I know it's all in C#, but I can find out. I guess another way to do this would be just look up Azure API retrieve key vault secrets rest. Vault base URL secret. So it goes against the actual vault. Ugh, come on. Do not make this easy. It may not even be possible. So let me see in the examples that they have for sites template, multiple instances, sites, reference Key Vault secrets from Key Vault. So I have guidance in here for setting the app settings using some concatenation, and it was pretty much what I was doing before, but perhaps that's not possible. So here's the Key Vault. Depends on Key Vault secret. So concat. What? Storage connection string resource ID. What? Oh. What is that? I don't see that listed anywhere. Like, where do they get that from? Okay. That's really helpful. Their example is like, yeah, just use this variable that we're not going to tell you how you set or anything unless it's special somehow. Storage connection string resource ID. That's real helpful. Can I access a key from a storage account? Yeah, that's for like storage accounts. Yeah, so Marco, what's going on is I'm trying really hard to figure out how to make secrets work in an ARM template. This is crazy bad. This is all about storage accounts, but I don't even want that. I don't want the keys. I want... Oh, this is so bad. Their documentation might very well be wrong, and this is a very preview feature. So I may have to give up and just... It's a Key Vault managed storage account. Okay. Azure Key Vault manages keys of Azure storage accounts internally. Azure Key Vaults. I don't know what the deal is for this. Okay. This is looking less and less possible. And like I'm just gonna have to do those as statics with their full key reference ID. Which is going to be okay, I guess. I thought it'd be better just to constantly get the latest one, but it's fine. Their documentation on this is not right for sure. Just look at this again. Key vault name. I'm gonna try one more thing on this before I totally throw in the towel on doing that, because it is quite possible that what this needs is without secrets after it, just the name, but I'm not optimistic. Try removing that, saving it, and deploying again. There's no way this works, but try anyways. Oh, well. We'll need this. We'll see. It's still running. That's fine. So that's not working. Try Z, try secret. Not optimistic on that one either. This is weird. Well, this is interesting. This is a completely new set of weird error messages. This is weird. It's like different error messages for this. Resource group key vault secret. Error bad request. 404 file directory not found. Huh. That's entertaining. So there's another piece in here that I just can't give this up because I really want to do this. The right way. So this actually gets secret URI with version. So let me just do some Googlings on that. See if that gives me any kind of what? Reference resource ID. Ah ha ha! This is promising. This is quite promising. Alright, so going back to VS Code here and looking at this, I'm going to paste this in as the option here and get this in here and replace what I've got up here in the key vault reference. Okay, I need to dissect this a little bit because it's a lot of stuff. This is a resource ID parameters. Okay, so that's just referencing a parameter. It's resource ID, secret name. So I just need this. I don't need the reference portion, I don't think. Or actually do, yeah, it's okay. All right, so that looks promising. This, go up here into the piece where I'm building the So reference. Update this. So vault resource group, I'm gonna have to take that in. Vault name, I'm gonna have to take that in. Parameters is this dot value. All right, so maybe this looks more promising. At least this is documented somewhere on how to access a secret in some way, shape, or form. So you have to pass in. I need to pass in the vault resource group and the vault name, so I can update my parameters here. And this is here. And then close this one out and create another one called vault name. Vault name is down here. I can get rid of this. And here I need to add a vault name and a resource group parameter. And also a vault name. And create a variable from the parameter. And then I need to take this new bit of code okay, copy, paste. All right, it worked this time. And change the value thing to this monstrosity. Now save this and up here, and let's just validate the template first. Template's valid. Now let's try deploying. While that's deploying, I'm going to take a quick break and be right back. let's see what this did while I was away. And it's got errors. Should be of type Boolean. Oh, that's going to be rough. At least this time it's not complaining about the resources, but perhaps the if statement is malformed at this point because of my changes here. So this does match up with that one. Okay, so gotta figure out where my logic fail is in this craptastic piece here. So static, so equals. Pretty sure that's the right one. Look at my comparison operations. Should be one of these. Comparison functions equals. Yeah, so that should work. Back to VS Code here. So this is the first one of this if statement, and that is definitely a Boolean. Just make sure that ends properly. It does. That one ends properly there. Yep. If that, then return variables, app setting value, that's good. Equals, that one's proper. Concat, that ends properly there. That ends properly over there. Resource ID. Ends there, which is right. And then variables, vault resource group, secrets, variable vault name, and then the secret name, which is right. Okay. Check the next if statement. It's storage name. If statement here equals storage name. That one's right. Just concat, make sure the concat ends properly. It does. Everything looks right on this, so I'm perplexed. Test web failed error. Invalid template. Unable to process template language expressions for line 174, which is not right. That's definitely not line 174. Column 9. The provided argument for template language function if yeah, I don't know what it's complaining about. That's gonna be rough. I've got a language failure here. Just make sure that this is saved. And app settings, secret version. Must have messed something up somewhere. Let me run the validation here, see if it gives me anything more helpful. Oh, it says the template's valid. I don't know why deploying again would help, but why not? I can't see anything wrong with this logic, although it's really hard to really see anything here. So it's not like there's syntax highlighting for this. This kind of complex logic might not even be possible. Let's make sure this is same thing down here as it was in the actual area where I was editing it. Just double check the if documentation. Yeah. All right. Troubleshooting this is going to be so fun. If equals static secret storage name, storage key. Variables app settings. That should be right. Type. That's what I'm using in here, right? Yeah, type static. If it's static, return the app settings variable, add the copy and text.value equals secret. Cat reference variables. I'm just gonna have some fun with this. This is actually one thing. Yeah, I was like, cat looks right. Resource ID. I mean, that looks good. Man, I cannot for the life of me find anything that's wrong with this. But I'm just gonna keep expanding this out until something clicks that it's equals storage name, variable storage name, if equals variables type storage key, cat Okay, so the concat here looks fine. I didn't even touch that piece, so equals insights, insight key. This is so disgustingly ugly. There's just no better way of doing it, I don't think. Unless there's a way that works, because that might be the only option there. And just try this again. I didn't really change anything. Um, I just, expanded out what was there to make sure that everything lines up right, and it looks like it does. Uh, yeah, invalid template. Able to process template language for expression for resource config. Uh, line 174, column 9. All arguments should be of type Boolean. That's not true for if. Let's just follow this link and look at it. All right. So they definitely don't all need to be Boolean, just the first one for condition. But maybe you can't use nested if logic. Which will be really difficult to deal with. So I'm at a quandary here about how to actually fix this, because it seems that I got over the reference hump. It's now properly referencing it, but now they're saying there's a language issue. And I cannot seem to figure out what the language issue is. Because everything that I look at here looks like it's right. I don't see anything out of place. So equals is a Boolean. It should be. It should return a Boolean. Let me just double check the go back here and go to comparison functions and equals. Returns true if the values are equal, otherwise false. So what now? Oh, fantastic. This is so messed up. Just trying to get a mix of secrets and all of that. So I could go back to just doing everything as secrets in the key vault. That's not too difficult to do. Since it seems like it references the key vault properly. Just for grins, I'm going to set something really simple here. The part in here where it gets the secret, I'm just going to play off of that. So concat the things, get the secret, resource group, vault name, variables, and instead of this, I'm just going to get the test one. Give that secret with URI, bam, and get rid of all the rest of this. Basically, I'm just going to verify that I can get secrets from here. It's going to just create all the app settings with the URI to the test. That's going to be hilarious if that actually works, but we'll try. Well, it's not blowing up as fast. But it didn't set any of the actual values, so I think I still have something wrong with the name value pair that comes up here. So everything that I read on the app settings thing is it takes name value, but they also aren't doing all of this. They do it as like underneath the site. Underneath properties, they'll have like site config. I'm wondering if having that there is screwing that up. Let me try. As I'm thinking what I need to do is like go through this site resource and do it here. Because the config one, what is this? This Microsoft Sites Web Config. I think the app setting on that requires like the name value pair to be like yeah, something like this. Let me try, just for grins. It's not working anyways, right? It's something like the name on one side and the value on the other. Come on. Yeah, it's still not working like. Alright, so I need to go through these values and figure out what actually matters and what doesn't. So there is a this is the to-do app. This is the Azure Function Quick Start template. So this one does not do a separate config thing. Um, so I just need to basically look at the settings that are in the website one and keep it simple. So I'm gonna go through this thing here and before I do that, let me do Control Z. So this does name value here. Copy this copy. um, put that into properties. Where's the site at? Service farm sites. Properties should be a site config. That I deleted. I don't know if this will work inside here. I'm gonna try. I'm not even on VS Code. So I basically copied our site config app settings thing. I'm hoping that by looking at this here, it takes site config and app settings, and that's all it really does. So I'm just gonna go through and I'm gonna clean out the crud that's in here for this site config resource. And mostly I copied this over from the I copied that over from the automatically generated one. So the automatically generated ARM templates are messy and not always working properly. But I thought it would be easier than starting from fresh, but I'm starting to realize that that was not the case. I really should have just started from scratch. So I'm going to go through the settings on here and just kind of flip back and forth. So we have type, name, location, kind. We have type, name, location, and kind. I need to keep identity system assigned. Actually, I don't. Well, I do. That's fine. Scale. Is scale defined on here? It is not, so we're getting rid of it. So properties, looking at the properties here, they have server farm ID and site config with the app settings, and that's it. So we're going to get rid of all the rest of this crud. Hostname SSL states, this is nice to know you. Server farm ID, I can leave enabled, that one's fine. I don't know what reserved is, it's definitely not in here. Reserved, nope. We're gonna get rid of that. Then site config and my stuff. SCM site also stop hosting environment profile null client assembly HTTPS only. No, we don't care. All right, so this is a lot closer to what's in the reference template. Let me just look at the API version. They're doing 2015 8.1, and we're doing 2016 8.1. So could be some differences there, but we'll see. We'll see if that works. Do some validation on the template. And now we will try deploying. Storage URI is invalid. Storage URI is invalid. Yeah. So the thing is that it since I'm deploying the uh, since I'm deploying the settings, um, there's settings in the app settings that determine what the storage is going to be used for the um, thing. So that didn't work. So what I need to do now is I need to get all of the settings in the vault here and try to have them all listed in the vault. So basically I need to import all of my secrets. I've got all of my main secrets. The only thing is that this the storage URI needs to be copied in. So I'm going to have to shade this out while I copy that over from some other things. But I'm going to create the secrets. That's fine. You'll just have to stare at this screen while I'm doing it so that I don't accidentally display a secret or something like that. So as I was saying, there's a couple of secrets that depend on the storage type. So down here, these ones that had storage key, those need to all be actually in there. So I need to basically create secrets for these and put the storage key. connection string. So, like, unfortunately, you can't do underscores in the secrets, and doing all caps as a name is kind of hard to read. So I'm having to manually camel case these, actually Pascal case, sorry, as I do them. Pardon the progress. This is somewhat expected, somewhat in the right direction, and somewhat not. So the original idea is that I would store all of the settings, app settings, in the key vault, and refer to them using the reference. And then I couldn't get the key vault working in the same thing, so I was going to try to do kind of a mix of them, and that's where we're going full circle again, and we're going to have everything in the key vault again. So that means that I have to set all of the settings in here. Then we have to do some mapping. Between these, and that way we know the so that's storage name. That one I have to manually enter along with the app insights key. For now I need all the ones that have like storage key. Alright, are there any other storage key ones in here? There is not. Okay, so that takes care of the storage key. Now I need to do the app insights instrumentation key. Oh, I already have that one set. Good for me. So I can skip that one. Alright, so now I just need to do a whole bunch of static ones. Paste in the name for this key though, secret. So what I'm gonna do now is that the name is going to be the actual name, and the value is going to be the secret name that I used to look up. So those need to be kind of done. This is the storage name, which I'm just going to have to copy in manually um, instead of relying on some kind of auto generation inside there. It's no big deal. For whatever reason, the website content share is like the same name as the storage account. It's not really a secret per se. I do need to get this out of the storage account name. Okay. What else we got here? Copy in the name for that. Could do without the new lines, that'd be great. All right, so static, 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 secret, secret, secret. Get rid of these secret ones, and then I've got to update all the ones that have static on them. That didn't work. Static. Control Z. Alright, so static. So now I need to add in all of these ones that are static. And put what their values are. So I can kind of go back and forth with you on this one, because it's not like they're real secrets. They're just... So this one's going to be disable notifications. We're going to put true in there for now. Back to copy the name from that first. Disable notifications. Oh, I cannot control C and control V properly. It is a curse. So I'm taking care of that one. Discord message template. Luckily I can just keep the same name for this one. And copy the value over here from VS Code, which is just our message template. Nothing too special. Go to our next one. But first we update the value with this. Discord notifications. This is the name of the queue that we're using for Discord notifications. And back and get the value. back and say that the value is now this to signify that it's the name of this. This is some gripping work here, a lot of copy pasting. We're making slow and steady progress on this. I'd meant to actually go and put all of these in here at some point anyways. I just never got to it because it's boring. And go back here and edit this one so that its secret name matches its value now, and remove the fact that it's static. And now we're on Twitch notification table. Is that one already there? Is that what that's complaining about? Twitch notifications table is already in use. It is. Do I have a duplicate in there? Is that what happened? I do. I had a duplicate. All right. That's easily fixed. One less thing. This looks like a duplicate too. Sweet. So this one's new. I really should just like have the names and the values of the queues the same, but for queues they like to be all lowercase and don't work with uppercase names. So, and I really hate trying to read all lowercase app settings. So we're just gonna have to deal with them being slightly different. Although in this one I could have at least like, I started like halfway through this project like using Q at the end of a app setting name to indicate that it was a queue, and I probably should have started with that in the beginning. But c'est la vie. think I missed text plain on some of these. I did not. Good. I did plain text on this one. All right. New version. All right. All right. So the only one missing the content type is test, and that's fine. That's just a test one I created. So going back here, VS Code, update this one. This one is also a queue. Getting there. Twitter tweet template is next. And that's this bad boy right here. Then text plain. Back to VS Code. Update value here to this one. Twitch webhook base URI, which is something I actually need to update for this one. No, I've got it right. Text plain. Back here, update this one so I know that I've done it. All right. These ones have already been entered because they were already secrets. So we're down to the last few, which is a function extension version. This is tilde2, so that we're using version 2 of the functions. Back here and let me copy that name. And set value to that. Functions worker runtime. functions worker runtime value is .NET text plain. Copy this. Great. Back to VS Code. Almost there. Website node default version. Site node default version. And I believe it's just 8.11.1. Back here, value to this. Save that. Website content share I've already updated, so these are all done. Okay, so all my secrets are imported. All whatever if you want to call them secrets. So all my settings have been imported as secrets. So now inside our ARM templates, in app settings, variable name, we can do this. Instead of this, we're going to put here dot value. So the value is the secret location. So in theory that should fix this. I'm just going to run a validation on this. All right, next. Not 100% certain this will have fixed my problem from before, but maybe we'll get lucky. According to the documentation, you should be able to set all of the settings to out of the key vault. This is still complaining about the storage URI being invalid. Target nulls. That's not really helpful. Storage URI is invalid. So maybe there's something that I deleted from here that is actually important that I missed somehow. So it's inside the site that it's complaining about it. The storage URI is invalid. I'm probably gonna have to like just manually configure all of the settings in here and just live with it and reference the one as secrets. I just don't see any other way of doing it. Hell, that sucks. Let's see if I get rid of this. Just paste it out of the way somewhere and save this and run it. It'd still complain about that. Something, anything. So it didn't error. That is just phenomenally painful. There's got to be some kind of compromise for this that works. So I want to be able to pass in the app settings and configure them in my parameters JSON. But I guess some of these I'm just gonna have to like change and like let's try something very simple. So I'm only doing like secret versus non-secret. It might be a very simple if statement. So I can pull all of these from the vault. It's only the ones that I can't evaluate them. Oh, come on. That should be fine. We'll try. It just won't work. There's no way to do this. Ah, I just cannot think of a way to mix secrets and non-secrets in this config. Like, there just doesn't seem to be a way. Uh, I was really hoping that logic would work. So this is all over the place now. I'm just gonna reset all of these. Alright, so I set these back to what I was doing before with the whole type situation. I'm just gonna have to work through that logic because I just don't see another way of making that work. But it is getting late. I've spent a couple of hours on this and not made a whole lot of progress at all, I don't think. So it's time to step away from it. Let it bother me. Let me lose sleep over it. Let me think about it during all day tomorrow. And then maybe come back and hash out some more on it and figure out what I can possibly do with this. In the meantime, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you back.